Hello, Brenton with All Out Octane here, and in this video, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the Buick, on the Mustang, because so many of you guys were asking, and I appreciate all of your prayers and support because it was very well received and very well needed. Thankfully, I do have the Buick back and I have the Mustang back. I've got both cars back, and we're gonna go over some totals to see what it's been like to keep both these cars on the road for the last 2 years. So let's get to it. Okay, so first up, just so you guys know, I did get the Buick back. Thankfully, yes, it is back. It was not an expensive fix, but it was not a cheap fix. It was an ignition control module. So that was about $1,000, but thankfully it is not, it's not toast, it is not totaled, and it still runs, drives, and it's wonderful. So I'm so thankful to have this one back. Thank you all so much for your prayers and support to, you know, thinking about me and thinking about the situation. Thankfully, God has worked it out that we have this car for one more chance, basically, at least not basically, but one more shot. And it's made me think, it's made Abigail and I think that we should probably start saving for a new car. That way we have the funds to buy a new car instead of waiting until we lose one before we actually have to start saving for one. So that's the update on the Buick. We are thankful to have that one back in the rotation. It's a great daily driver. I use it to go diecast hunting all the time. I will give you the totals here in a second. Next, we're gonna move to the Mustang. So the Mustang, yes, that is back. This was planned maintenance. So we planned to have it go in because we do plan on keeping this car forever. So this one went in and it got brakes done, which are kind of hard to see in the nighttime light here. We got brakes done on it. We got suspension done on it. And we are very excited about that. You can actually see some of the new suspension parts, although probably a little difficult in the nighttime light. There's actually some red bushings that are there for the suspension components. So the suspension components were done, the brakes were done, and we got some other things done. What else did we get? Oh, I got new tires on it. That was kind of expensive. An oil change, and let's see, what else did we get? Fluid check. So yeah, oh, and an alignment, because once you get your suspension done, you kind of want to have an alignment done to make sure that the tires are good and you're not going to wear out your tires, especially when you have brand new tires and suspension work done. So now that we've gone through that, let's sit down and take a look at some of the totals. I'm trying to get this video in before it gets too dark out. All right, so the totals. All right, on the Mustang, between all of those repairs I just mentioned, we got 4 tires, we got an inspection, rear brakes, rear suspension, fluid check, upper and lower control arms, and an alignment, plus an oil change that I couldn't find the receipt for. So there is roughly $50, $60 difference in this total. For all of that work, it's been $4,863.07. Yes, planned though. We did plan for that. All right, moving on to the Buick. So the Buick has had all that work done in the last 2 years. So since we moved to St. Louis, I'm going back through the totals. We got tires on it, just like we did with the Mustang. We got an oil change. We've got a state inspection. Oh, there was a state inspection on the Mustang. I counted that in. There was the, and a wheel bearing. That was also part of that one. We got the brakes done on the Buick. The wheel bearings done on that one as well. There was a big total there. Throttle body the moisture sensor was cleaned. The throttle body and assembly position sensor was then fixed after they just cleaned it. Kind of silly. There was a oil change, another oil change in there that I can't find the receipt for, and the ignition control module, which is just the last fix, which is thankfully it came back to us. They were able to fix it. Like I said, it wasn't totaled out. It didn't blow the head gasket or anything like that. So the total on that one over the last 2 years, so since we moved to St. Louis, is $4,551.96. Whew. So that makes it a grand total of, I was in the drum line, so I'd say drum roll, $9,415.03, which is actually, like I said, a little more than that because of 2 oil changes for receipts I couldn't find. So yeah, almost 10 grand in 2 cars over the last 2 years. It's a lot, but they're still running, and I'm very thankful for that. So I know that is a lot. And even though I have spent $9,400 some in the last 2 years on cars, it's still a little cheaper than probably getting a car payment, because that doesn't include fuel, that doesn't include insurance, which are also really expensive around here. So roughly probably $400 a month would be what I'd be spending roughly on the cars, between insurance and maintenance, upkeep bills and stuff like that, which is basically a car payment. However, when you don't own a car, your insurance is normally higher. So the fact that we own these two cars outright lowers the insurance, and that's also a helpful thing. So there's a bunch of factors, and Abigail and I have chosen to try to stay debt-free. So we're trying to go through and own the cars, pay everything outright, plan for things, save for things. That being said, with the Buick having the scare that it had, it gave us a little bit of a wake-up call that maybe we should start saving even more intensely so we can potentially purchase a third vehicle outright and make sure we have reliable transportation for the future. The Mustang, we again are trying to keep as nice as possible, so we're not trying to daily drive that as much, and we're putting a lot of work into it and a lot of money into it, but hopefully that will last us a lot longer. The suspension components should last for at least 5 to 8 years, I would hope. The Buick though, that was a good wake-up call. So we're so blessed. I am so thankful that I have the faith, or I had the faith, and I still am gonna continue to have faith. I'm not gonna give up on the Buick. I'm not gonna give up on saving. I'm not gonna give up on the potential for a new vehicle, because I don't wanna limit God. He can do miraculous things, and I am fully aware of that, and I have faith for that. But I'm gonna do the things that I can in my human rationale and my human logic to make steps to hopefully make that become possible. And if God wants to bless me along the way, that'd be great. I won't complain about that. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your thoughts, your prayers, your concerns. I just wanted to give you guys again another update to let you know all is well and we were spared, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful to you all for watching. I'm thankful to God for providing all of this. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Until the next one, have a good one.